Congress is bought and paid for. The quid pro quo between Congress and Wall Street has got to stop. Over 7.1 billion share inconsistencies and errors were found in one day by the CAT system. Over 107 million call contract and put contract errors were found on one day alone with the CAT system. Ladies and gentlemen, Congress is bought and paid for, and Wall Street has them in their pocket. I'm going to explain to you just shortly how they're trying to do that, because as a matter of fact, Congress has just come out with another bill and trying to push it forward to basically stop the Securities and Exchange Commission and retail investors from being able to protect themselves from criminal market manipulation that costs billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars in losses to retail investors like you and I, your children, your parents, and your grandparents every single year. It's disgusting.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Following the 2010 flash crash, Thank you, Madam Chairman. Following the 2010 flash crash, the SEC promulgated Rule 613 to establish the Consolidated Audit Trail. The CAT system is intended to collect U.S. securities market data, allowing regulators, self-regulatory organizations, and various contractors to track a securities transaction throughout its life cycle. By compelling industry members to collect and report data, it accumulates a staggering 500 billion records every day, all of which will be accessible to thousands of employees at the SEC and SROs with little to no accountability for how it's used. To make matters worse, each record is linked or linkable to the identity of an individual investor. The CAT program is not funded through regular appropriations and is administered by industry members who are not directly accountable to Congress. The CAT's implications for U.S. national security are also concerning. Congress has little insight into how this data is protected from hostile foreign actors or cyber threats. As a database of unparalleled scope and scale covering the deepest and most robust capital markets in the world, the CAT is a prime target for foreign intelligence and cyber criminals. In 2017, then SEC Chairman Jay Clayton warned, and I quote, "We will face the risk of unauthorized access to the CAT's central repository and other efforts to obtain sensitive CAT data. Through such access, intruders could potentially obtain, expose, and profit from the trading activity and personally identifiable information of investors." Congress should take steps to reduce the potential threat posed by the CAT's data collection by preventing its collection of highly sensitive, personally identifiable information.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, these criminals in Congress that are bought and paid for are literally trying to stop the CAT system in its tracks. And they claim that it's because the CAT system will allow our personal information to be manipulated or to be stolen or to be seen by the Securities and Exchange Commission. But the fact of the matter is that hedge funds and market makers and brokerages and other large institutions can already see this information. The Securities and Exchange Commission is currently suing Virtue Financial in a new lawsuit because they allowed their own hedge fund the ability to see customers' post-execution trade data and falsely represented that those customers that only employees with a need to see such information could do so. A number of institutional customers continue to use Virtue Americas to execute their orders, resulting in significant commissions for Virtue Americas, of course. So the Securities and Exchange Commission is now literally suing them for market manipulation in this lawsuit that began September 12th, 2023. And this is because they claimed that nobody had access to this data, but in reality, Virtue Americas executed customer orders for a commission and a proprietary trading business, a hedge fund, through which Virtue bought and sold securities for its own accounts and benefits. That means they used your data and they front run the trades. So they had a database. They failed to safeguard a database that contained all post-trade information generated from customer orders routed to and executed by Virtue Americas, including customer identifying information and other material non-public info. So plain and simple, Wall Street doesn't want the Securities and Exchange Commission to be able to fight against the naked shorts, to fight against the criminals. And as you can see here, in one day alone, the CAT system exposed 107 million options errors in one single day. Noted here, that's just on May 1st. And the following day, 106 million more, and so on, several hundred thousand and tens of millions more as well. In one day, it exposed 7.13 billion errors in shares. This is the definition of naked shorts, rehypothecations, synthetic shares. The next day, 146 million more. The day prior, 205,000. And the day before that, 55 million individual share orders individual equities, shares that have received overall errors counts. That means failures to deliver, synthetic shares, naked shorts are rampant in these markets, as we knew. And even though there are 107 million options errors in one day, which is the equivalent of over 1.07 billion shares, and then on that same day, an additional 7.1 billion more shares in error inconsistencies that need to be stopped. This is criminal market manipulation by the top 0.1%. Some of the Wall Street dogs out there that are literally front-running trades. And what Congress is doing here, these guys, the Representative Loudermilk and everybody else that's listed on this, that's listed here on co-sponsoring this bill, is doing everything to stop the regulations that were initiated during the Dodd-Frank regulations, after the flash crash of 2010, after the great financial crisis of 2008. They are undoing everything that we have worked for as retail investors. They do not want this market manipulation to stop. They have a quid pro quo between themselves and certain players on Wall Street, and they're greasing each other's pockets constantly. You can see a lot of these names are the same names that voted against short selling transparency 2 years ago. Representative voted against short sale transparency and the Market Fairness Act. Keep in mind, says the poster, Ken Griffin has donated millions of dollars to the Republican Party through the Congressional Leadership Fund, a super PAC supporting House Republicans. He also sent $500,000 to Take Back the House 2022, a joint fundraising committee for GOP members. He is ranked number 2 for donating $66 million to Republicans at present, according to OpenSecrets.org. So this initial vote was back in 2021, not long after the whole situation with AMC and GameStop occurred on financial markets, as well as SLV, silver, and many other heavily shorted stocks. So the representative voted against the Short Sale Transparency and Market Fairness Act. A lot of them are the same ones that are voting now. Patrick McHenry, Ann Wagner, Pete Sessions, Bill Huizenga, French Hill, Barry Loudermilk. A lot of these assholes are the exact same ones that are now voting to try to shut down the Consolidated Audit Trail. Again, French Hill, Bill Huizenga, Ann Wagner, Daniel Musser, Young Kim, Zachary Nunn, Keith Self, Ralph Norman, Michael Lawler, Mike Flood, Scott Fitzgerald, Pete Sessions, and Alexandra Mooney, as well as the guy, Representative Barry Loudermilk, are the ones that are sponsoring and co-sponsoring this bill. And this was just posted 5/16, so this was Friday. They are now trying to stop the Consolidated Audit Trail. They don't want members of either to provide market participants personally identifiable information to satisfy the reporting requirements of the CAT system, aka data used to track market activity. This information must be provided to the SEC upon request if the information is related to a securities investigation. This will allow the Securities Exchange Commission, using the CAT system, will allow them to submit information to the Department of Justice for criminal, felony, naked shorting, and market manipulation. To the Department of Justice, ladies and gentlemen. So this will go beyond civil forfeitures and civil fines from the SEC. If the SEC can push through the CAT system, if we can speak up against these pricks like this guy right here that are owned by Wall Street, then we have an actual chance for the SEC and the Department of Justice to work together to issue civil penalties and criminal lawsuits and cases against white-collar criminals that steal from people's pensions, steal from people's 401ks, steal from your thrift savings plans. Your kids, your parents, your grandparents, money is getting siphoned out by these guys every single day through the issuance of these synthetic shares, naked shorts, manipulations, rehypothecations, married puts and calls. I could go on for an hour, but I'll stop there. So none of these guys are asking any questions beyond beyond what they need to say to get this passed. They don't really care that your information is out there because, as we've shown, the hedge funds, the market makers, the brokerages, etc., they already have all your information, and they can trade it on these databases, and they can send it to each other to front run and make money ahead of you so that you lose money and they make money on top of the commissions that they're already making and creating here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not available to comment for comment by the public, but you can reach out to the representative that is in your state or other representatives. And I will post a Find Your Representatives website where you can go to the house.gov. You can go find your representative and you can use your zip code to get their information there. And I'm going to dump that into the chat right now for all of you guys so you can do it. All you have to do is shoot them an email, shoot them a call, whatever you can, and whatever's within your ability, because every person contacting them makes a big difference. Now, this is going to be a quick stream, and I'm going to end it here in about 5 minutes. But I will post that up top. I will pin it, and then I will put it in the comments for you guys to reach out to your representatives. So that's the pinned message up in the comments right now. And this is important, again, because this is literally giving the Department of Justice and the Securities and Exchange Commission the ability to track rehypothecations, naked shorts, and so on, and stop market manipulation in its tracks. This is the first time that criminal charges will be able to be pursued by the Department of Justice to a lot of these guys, because they will actually have all of the proof being fed to them immediately. Now, if you're still wondering, if you're watching this and you don't know what the CAT system is, I will explain it. It'd take about 1.5 minutes for me to explain it. And I will give you some good details. What is the Consolidated Audit Trail? It's a regulatory initiative designed after the 2008 and 2010 stock market crashes and great financial crisis to enhance the oversight of the securities markets, and has been implemented this past month. And as beginning the end of May, they will be able to give that information to the Department of Justice in order to actually stop the criminal manipulation of markets. Again, 7 billion share errors in one day, and that's not the entire markets. This is happening in stages. Some participants have to do things in different stages in order to roll out fully the system. So it aims to provide a comprehensive and detailed view of the life cycle of orders and trades. I wrote this up yesterday. Here you go. A life cycle enabling regulators to better monitor and analyze trading activities. So here's an in-depth look at the CAT system and its relevance to heavily shorted stocks like AMC, GameStop, precious metals like silver, gold, and so on. It was, I just said some of this, is highlighted significant gaps in their ability to monitor and analyze market events in real time. And it was mandated by the SEC under Rule 613 of their aiming to create a single comprehensive database that tracks all order and trade information for stocks and options across U.S. exchanges and other trading venues, including bonds, etc. So this will collect data, literally the fingerprints of every order and share that's traded, every synthetic share and rehypothecation and naked short that's created. So this will, as I just said, the modification, routing, execution, full audit trail, breadcrumb trail, all the way down the line. So this is used to stop them in their tracks, and AMC and GameStop, silver and gold have experienced extreme volatility and trading activity due to the factors such as high short interest and retail investor enthusiasm. This can often lead to short squeezes where short sellers are forced to buy back shares at elevated prices, driving them even higher. The CAT system can help regulators identify patterns of potentially manipulative trading behavior, such as coordinated selling or other market abuses, such as spoofing, etc. So I already explained this, so I won't go over this again, but this will offer a really clear picture of what's going on. And for investors, the CAT represents a tool for protecting your best interests by ensuring a fair and orderly market. It can identify and prevent practices that disadvantage retail traders, such as naked short selling and front running. By promoting this fair environment, the CAT system can enhance investor confidence and stop naked shorts in their tracks, particularly among retail investors who've been active in AMC, GameStop, silver, gold, and any other stock with a high short interest or a high level of manipulation. The implementation has been phased, with different market participants required to report data at different times. In conclusion, this is particularly relevant in the context of heavily shorted stocks like AMC and GameStop, where market dynamics can be complex and volatile. We stand for the CAT system at litexchange.com and plan to fully abide by all regulations once we become a fully licensed broker-dealer. And as you can see, we have updated our website and have even included a link to our Regulation D filing notice of exempt offering of securities, in which we will be offering $10 million worth of equities in LitExchange LLC to private equity investors, such as retail investors such as yourself, in order to have sufficient capital to launch a new broker-dealer, in which we will have the ability to route orders away from dark pools, route orders away from market manipulators. And this is extremely important in order to safeguard our investments. So that being said, this is now on our website, litexchange.com, and you can see it directly from the sec.gov website. Edgar filing data that we have submitted and is open for review. We will be giving people the opportunity through a FINRA-approved funding portal to invest in LitExchange in the coming weeks. We plan by the end of May or early June at the latest to actually launch these Regulation D and Regulation CF private equity investment campaigns to both accredited and non-accredited investors. So you can go to our website and sign up there if you'd like. But the point of this video is to actually get people to email and to call their representatives. We have to reach out to the criminals in Congress and show them that we will vote them the fuck out of the market. We'll vote them the fuck out of Congress, and they will no longer be able to insider trade and provide quid pro quo information and bills in front of Congress for their Wall Street buddies. So this will be the end of this video for today. This will be the end of this live stream. I don't want to do a full, long live stream because I will do that tomorrow, and we will touch further on financial markets, stocks, bonds, heavily shorted, and so on. Precious metals, silver is now over $32 an ounce. Gold and silver are both. Gold has now reached new all-time highs. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be so fucking rich. But we still have to stop the market manipulation that's occurring, because otherwise people will continually be naked shorted into the ground. Pensions and 401ks and thrift savings plans and IRAs will be lost by these same criminals that are fighting against short selling transparency, that are fighting against the Consolidated Audit Trail, and are fighting against stock market reform.